Hello, welcome to my cooking show. This is my first ever video, but we're actually not gonna really cook today. We're just gonna be making miso soup drops because that's something that was a request of mine. Surprisingly, I had one Instagram video that was like somewhat popular at I think 28,000 views. So I'm like, wow, people want to know how to make these, and they actually asked. And no, I'm not selling them right now, but I guess I'll consider it in the future, but that's not something that was in my mind because this was originally just like a Christmas gift that I was preparing for my friends and family this year. So I'm glad people really liked it. And for me, I'm not a huge chocolate person, so I feel like I would love to get miso soup drops over any other chocolate box situation for Valentine's Day. Anyways, let's get started. I'm just gonna wear gloves because your fingers will smell like miso if you don't. I did that the first time. So I have my miso all in a bowl right now, but it's because I mixed two different types. You honestly don't have to do that. Just buy it straight from the box. I think they sell it like $5 to $12. They have those boxes of miso paste, and I combined a white miso and a red miso together only because I wanted to simplify my life. My original plan was to use like white miso for a certain flavor versus red miso for another flavor, but in the end I was just like, I'll just combine the two and use the same base for all of them instead. So to portion them out, typically it's a good reference to use a teaspoon. It's 2 teaspoons per ball, but I've kind of been just eyeballing it, but I'll just do it for the reference. See that? Now we roll. Roll, roll, roll. And I'm just gonna be making a box of 9 today, so I'll make 9 balls. Something to think about too is if you have any friends who are vegan, make sure to check the label for the miso that you use. The white miso that I mixed in is fully vegan, so that's the one I used for her. But there's also the red miso, which has dashi in it. The dashi in it has fish. Actually, I lied. I might make a couple extra balls so I can test out the different flavors for myself. Because so far, I've only tried one of the flavors, which is the corn and curry, which I thought was really good. It might be a strange combination for other people for miso soup, but I really liked it. Actually, I tried that one because it was the most far-fetched flavor. The other ones are more safer options, so I think I should try at least the craziest one. So I'm just gonna take off one glove and then use one of the hands to roll, and then one of the hands to use all the topping, or to pour all the toppings into the little bowls. And I have these are just like sauce bowls. I only have 8 bowls for now, but I'm gonna double up on one of the bowls with flavors that are somewhat similar, so it won't be a problem. We don't wanna cross-contaminate. Let's start with the corn curry, actually. That one is the most interesting one for me because I really like curry flavors, especially Japanese curry flavors. I'm using a curry powder. I'm sure there are other brands that are just as good, but for me, that's the one I've been using for a while now. And then I also have these freeze-dried corn kernels. You could probably actually use those, you know, those like ramen topping packets. It's probably basically the same thing. You can have different flavors, and that's another flavor you can do instead. But for now, I'm just gonna eyeball how many kernels I would need just for one ball and just do one at a time. But the first time I did them, I actually did larger bowls and then I made a bunch all at once. But this time, since I'm just making one box and a few extras, like that's all I need. All right, so let's go, let's do this. So for first, I just grab the ball and then roll it into the freeze-dried veggies. Then I'll grab some curry powder with a small spoon and just sprinkle it on top. And make sure to use the bowl beneath it so it catches any extras, and then you can roll it in afterwards. I made sure not to put too much curry because the curry flavor can be pretty overpowering compared to miso. So just a tad and just enough to give it some flavor. I grabbed some mini muffin or cupcake liners and put them in here. Oh, you know what? I forgot. I actually also put green onions in this flavor. So this is some dried green onions that I also got from the Japanese market. Right, ta-da! I'm gonna make another corn one because I like it. This one I call the original flavor because it's the most similar to original miso soup flavor with the seaweed and tofu. I'm gonna crush up some of the seaweed because they're so long and spiky. I feel like it won't sit well inside the cupcake line. I have garlic chips for this next one. This flavor is surprisingly a little bit spicy because of the garlic chips. Or at least when I had the garlic chips on their own, it was a bit spicy, so just a few for show. You can break this one up a bit too if you need. I also use garlic powder for this one. Next flavor is tempura, so I'll put some green onions, fried wheat flour. Next, I got these shiitake mushrooms. These are dried and ready to go. The next flavor that I have is pretty simple. It's gochugaru with just like a large wheat gluten on top. You can consider this to be like a spicy miso. So I'm just gonna reuse one of the previous bowls because it's just gonna be powder on top. Except I realized the gochugaru that I have is pretty mild, so not really spicy. You'll have that spiced flavor. Next flavor I'm going to do is nori flavor, so I'm going to transfer some of that seaweed over into my new one so I can sprinkle some additional different type of seaweed on top. This one I have aonori, which is the one that you use on top of okonomiyaki or takoyaki as well. Next one I have is sesame. So this one's pretty simple too. I'll just put some green onions and then pre-crushed roasted sesames. And then my last flavor is togarashi. So I have shichimi, which is like the 7 spices, and then I'll put a mix of fried wheat flour. I lied. This is ichimi, so there's only 1 spice, not 7. And then last one, I'll remake the same flavor. Ta-da! I have these chocolate gift boxes that I'm going to fill it up with. Now that they're all in a tray, I'll put the insert into the fridge and then work on the rest of the packaging. I didn't have time to illustrate my own artwork this time, but I used my handy dandy Adobe stock to download an artwork that felt both modern and traditional Japanese. I did do the little balls themselves to showcase the flavors though. I wanted to include instructions on the box so if I didn't explain all the directions when I gifted it, they could at least read it for themselves. I made 2 boxes, one for 9 flavor and one for 4 flavors. I printed the art double-sided and included a bleed, score marks, and cut lines. And gotta make sure that the artwork actually lines up on both sides. Now I'm creasing all the parts that will end up folded. This is to make sure the fold is straight and clean. Sometimes with thicker cardstock, the folds get ugly, so this will help even if I'm not using a scoring board. And now it's time to cut. Then in all the places you scored, you can go ahead and fold them, but don't crease them too much so the folds are still clean. I made a little tab so the box isn't just being held together with a belly band, so I'll cut that first. Then I'll use my ruler to refold the folds so now that they're extra clean and looks professional. I'm using the only glue I have at home, which thankfully is a glue for paper projects. It dries pretty fast and it's not stiff when it's dry. I'm using a paintbrush to put it on so it's even, but it's probably even nicer if you put the glue on a paper plate or palette paper first, then use the brush to pick it up. I didn't show the printing or cutting of the vertical belly bands, but it's pretty self-explanatory. I made sure the wrap lined up on the back and added just a little bit more glue to hold it in place. Make sure not to wrap it too tight because it'll be hard to slide it off and on. Okay, I let this dry. It didn't take too long since it was a little bit tacky before I put the paper on, but I'm just gonna unbox this and assemble. So I lined up each of the flavors with the illustrations that I did. So like corn curry is the top left one. We'll put it in, close it, and then I have a little cutout tab that I did. And then I'm gonna slide this back on. Ta-da! It's like a light spicy miso. Spiced, not very spicy, but you can tell there's something different with the miso. The tempura ko is like spongy now that it's hydrated. It's good. This flavor is quite light. It's like a slightly spicy miso, but not fully spicy. It's just spiced. Pretty good. Not bad. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. And I'd love to hear some comments about what you think of this product if you get to try this at home, or if you had a chance to gift it to anyone. I would love to make more creative food videos for people like myself, foodie people, people who love art and design. You're in the right place. Thanks for watching. Bye.